कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। जय श्रील प्रभुपाद। निताय गौर प्रेमानंद। हरि हरि बोल। अनंत गुरु वृंद की जय। Pranams to all Mataji's and Prabhuji's. Hare Krishna. Anybody wants to start a kirtan? Please go ahead. Hare Krishna. Any Mataji's or Prabhuji's?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'll do it. Just give me a second, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Shloka number 52, no? From today?
I'll check and tell you, Mataji. Just a second.
Any Mataji's? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. 50 from 51 Mataji. Yesterday from 46 to 50 finished.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes,
I had it
Mataji.
out.
Today 51 to 54.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
will be
thank you.
Parameshwar Gaur Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hope you all can see Mataji's.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Mataji, you can go ahead, Mataji, with the kirtan.
Yes.
When Prabhu joins.
Yes, Mataji. You please let me know, Mataji, once he joins, because I won't be
Sure,
able to see.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. भजौरे मन श्रीनंदनंदन अभय चरणार बिंधरे, भजौरे मन श्रीनंदनंदन अभय चरणार बिंधरे, दुर्लभ मानव जन्म सत्संगे, दुर्लभ मानव जन्म सत्संगे, तरहुए भव सिंधुरे, तरहुए भव सिंधुरे, सीत आतप बात बरीसन, ये दिन जामिनी जागिरे, सीत आतप बात बरीसन, ए दिन जामिनी जागिरे, विपले से विनु कृपन जोजन, विपले से विनु कृपन जोजन, चपल सुख लब लागिरे, चपल सुख लब लागिरे, भजहु रे मन श्रीनंदनंदन अभय चरणार बिंधरे, एदन यौवन पुत्र परिजन, एते कियाचे परती रे, एदन यौवन पुत्र परिजन, एते कियाचे परती रे, कमल दल जल जीवन तलमल, कमल दल जल जीवन तलमल, कमल दल जल जीवन तलमल, भजहु हरि पद नीति रे, भजहु हरि पद नीति रे, भजहु रे मन श्री नंदन अभय चरणार विंद रे, श्रवण कीर्तन स्मरण वंदन पाद सेवन दास्य रे, श्रवण कीर्तन स्मरण वंदन पाद सेवन दास्य रे, पूजन सखी जन आत्मनिवेदन, पूजन सखी जन आत्मनिवेदन, गोविंद दास अभिलाष रे, गोविंद दास अभिलाष रे, भजहु रे मन श्री नंदन अभय चरणार विंद रे, दुर्लभ मानव जन्म सत्संगे, दुर्लभ मानव जन्म सत्संगे, तरहु ये भव सिंधु रे, तरहु ये भव सिंधु रे, शीत आतप बात बरी सन दिन जामिनी जागिरे, विपल से विनु कृपन दुरजन, विपल से विनु कृपन दुरजन, छपल सुख लभ लाभिरे, भजहु रे मन श्री नंदन अभय चरणार विंद रे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, मीनाक्षी माता जी, प्रणाम माता जी।
राम
हरे
राम
हरे
हरे
कृष्ण मीनाक्षी माता जी,
थैंक यू माता जी,
thank you so
Prabhuji.
much
Hare
माता जी।
Krishna Prabhuji, pranams.
प्रभु जी pranams to you प्रभु जी, we welcome you on behalf of ICF team.
Hare Krishna.
For the guidance and wonderful class प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्ण, thank you so much प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna. I have to thank you all for giving opportunity to get associated and to speak of the nectarian Bhagavatam with my little knowledge. Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Prabhakadam Ayyam Dadadi Sapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Radhakam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagagana Raghunathantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagagana Lilita Shivsha Kanvitam Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Pangetigrim Yathrupatam Pampante Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramanandamadam Shri Chaitanya Iswaram Namamishtapadaya Krishna Preshvaya Srimati Jayapataka Swami Acharpadaya Gaurakata Damadaya Nagara Gramataya. Hare Krishna. I consider it as a privilege to join the classes of Srimad Bhagavatam, wherever Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj are relishing the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. So today we are into 3rd canto, 23rd chapter, and verses from 51 to 54, if I remember right.
Hare Krishna, yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So before getting into that, let us try to understand the summary of the previous verses so that we'll get into the today's verse so that it will be more useful for us. So to begin with, Kashyapa, sorry, not Kashyapa, Swayambhu and Sutapa, they have 2 sons and 3 daughters. One of the daughters is Devahuti. She is married to the great Kardama Muni, who is a perfect devotee of the Lord and as well as a perfect yogi too. So when she was married, she had to serve him with lots of dedication as told by her mother. So this is also a lesson for our present days. When the daughters are getting married, the mothers are feeding them how to take care of husbands. And especially when we say husband, husband has to remain as a husband, as told in the Bhagavatam. So this way she was serving so seriously and she was observing all the penances, austerities. She became a little bit emaciated, a little looking dark. Okay. So since she was so much serving seriously, Kardama Muni was pleased and she was requested by Kardama Muni. And when she asked children, so Kardama Muni agreed. And before that, he built a huge palace, palatial. And she entered with all the old clothes and look very shabby or dirty, whatever you call it as. And the palace was described in the previous chapters. And subsequently, she was given a very special plane. And that description also we had seen it before. So in that plane, they were traveling. And further, Kardama Muni is requesting. This time, Kardama Muni wanted to fulfill her desire of begetting children. So he made 9 parts himself. This is the power of the great yogis. And the semen was given to her, 9 daughters born. After all they are born, still Devahuti was lamenting. This is a different lamentation because she was in a very posh house and she came to a hermitage and she adjusted to that. Again, she got a huge palace and she was enjoying everything, including a big plane with so many daughters. But again, in the previous verse, what we were seeing, she was scratching the ground with her thumbnails. So this is the indication when somebody wants it, they try to do it, especially women folk. So these are the things which are the nature of the woman. And it's being also copied nowadays. Those who have got that real tendency of a woman. So in today's verse, she is going to talk something, a subject which is very serious about it. And one can understand, yeah, great devotee's daughter, though lives in so much of comforts, and she quickly adopts to a tough situation of austerity. Again, she is adapting to a harsh life. Again, she wants to go back. This is the very important aspect of, which we have to learn from in all our life. See, we come up in a different style, some with the golden spoon, some with the copper spoon, whatever it is. When we go up in life, materially, we should understand the way we had come and we should always be able to adapt that also again. Generally, people go to Western countries or Middle East. They have a posh life. And when they return India, they murmur, oh, this is not good, that is not. So this is not the way of it. See, when we say Bharat Varsh, it's full of karma bhumi and full of austerities. So one should adopt immediately to the situation. So here, Devahuti is asking some very special spiritual questions and very special spiritual lamentation, you can call it as also. And these are all very genuine. And Kardama Muni has to oblige for it. That is the situation. So let us get into the today's sloka quickly. The very first shloka, 51. Devahuti Ruvacha. Hare Krishna, 1 minute. Kasturi Tilakam Lalata Patale, Vakshastale, Gostubam, Asagre Varam, Mutikam Kartale, Karegan, Sarvangi Harisandanam, Karegan, Pavri, Opastri Parivestito Vijete, Gopala Chudamani, Narayanam Namaskutya Narancheva Narottamam, Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayanti Jaye. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Devahuti Ruvacha Sarvam Tad Bhagavan Ayyam Upovaha Pratishrutam Atapime Prapannaya Abhayam Dhatum Arhasi. Devahuti Ruvacha Sarvam Tad Bhagavan Ayyam Upovaha Pratishrutam Atapime Prapannaya Abhayam Naya, Prapannaya, sorry. Prapannaya means Prapannaya. Ata bime Prapannaya. Abhayam Dhatum Arhasi. One more time. Devahuti Ruvacha Sarvam Tad Bhagavan Mayam. Upovaha Pratishrutam. Ata bime Prapannaya. Abhayam Dhatum Arhasi. I request synonyms, translation, and purport.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji. Anita Mataji, you can read the synonyms. Sudha Mataji, you can read the translation. And Vasudha Mataji, you can read the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Synonyms. Devahuti. Devahuti. Uvacha said Sarvam, all that. Bhagavan, your lordship. Mahyam, for me. Upovaha, has been fulfilled. Pratishrutam, promised. Atha api, yet. Me, unto me. Prapannaye, unto one who has surrendered. Abhayam, fearlessness. Datum, to give. Arhasi, you deserve. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Nandapana.
Hare Krishna.
Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Devahuti said, My Lord, you have fulfilled all the promises you gave me. Yet because I am your surrendered soul, you should give me fearlessness also. Fearlessness too. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Purport Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Devahuti requested her husband to grant her something without fear. As a wife, she was fully surrendered soul to her husband, and it is the responsibility of the husband to give his wife fearlessness. How one awards fearlessness to his subordinate is mentioned in the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. One who cannot get free from the clutches of the death is dependent, and he should not become a spiritual master, not a husband or a kinsman, nor a father, nor a mother, etc. It is the duty of the superior to give fearlessness to the subordinate. To take charge of someone, therefore, is either as father, mother, spiritual master, relative, or husband. One must accept the responsibility to give his award freedom from the fearful situation or material existence. Material existence is always fearful and full of anxiety. Devahuti is saying, you have given me all sorts of material comforts by your yogic power, and since you are now prepared to go away, you must give me your last award so that I may get free from this material conditioned life. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. See here, very interesting thing. As long she was having all the comforts, she said everything is okay. But the material life is also like that. Many people think, oh, I have wealth, I need not worry. I have so much of comforts, I need not worry. But one people always forget is fearfulness. The fearfulness is always around us. Because when more wealth comes, we have to protect it. When more comforts come, we have to maintain it. Automatically, we have fear of thief or relatives who always try to cheat or snatch away all these things. So the fear always comes. So this way, here it's a lesson for us also. Devahuti is so wise, she is immediately asking for fearlessness. Another point here is, as a husband, he has fulfilled all her desires. That's what she writes, right? You have completed all your promises and nothing is pending. But what is required is, I need fearlessness. That also you have to give, because I am prapannaya me atapi. So that means I am a surrendered soul unto you. So the same thing comes in the Bhagavad Gita also in the second chapter. So Arjuna says, I am surrendered unto you. You are my guru. You are my spiritual master. You give me everything. There also, Arjuna had the fear. What sort of a fear he had? Because he could not kill his grandfather or guru or relatives. He had all difficulties, all fears. Being a Kshatriya, you should be very strong enough, that too in the battlefield. So that means the fearlessness can be awarded by one who is always in a much power position and a senior position. And if he does not, or if he cannot award this fearlessness, then he is unfit to be in that position. So that's why the purport, Prabhupada starts explaining that aspect of it. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, it talks about it. So if one wants to take a position of a father, mother, relative, or husband, anything of that type, spiritual master, he must be able to give the subordinates. Anybody remembers the shloka? It's a very powerful shloka which is always quoted in many places.
Guru na sasyat.
Oh, fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Okay. So
I'm
can you
not
remember
sure,
the
Prabhuji.
numbers, Mataji?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, very good. But can you chant the shloka in full?
Completely, I don't know.
Okay, no problem.
Janani na sasyat, I
Thank
don't
you.
know, Prabhuji, but I could only.
Yeah, thank you for getting it right. Okay. So Guru na sasyat, Pita na sasyat, Swajano na sasyat, Janani na sasyat, Daivam na tasyan, Napatisya tasyan, Na mochayet, Samapeta mrutyum. So this is the verse, and wherein in this the conversation between Rishabhadev and his children, and he is narrating this 5518, if I remember right, the verse number is. So it is explained to his sons. So what is important is, if somebody wants to take a position of a king or a leader or anything of the type, he must be able to deliver his subordinates, even mother also. So that means nowadays, if you go and check in any of the families, anybody for that matter, okay, can you do this? Then they will say, no, I cannot do it. I am a common man. Like that they will say. They will not be able to speak more than that. The reason is they are not capable for that position, it says. Hare Krishna. So always I request all the devotees just to make a note of this verse. This is a very important verse. Prabhupada quotes in many of his lectures, and many of the gurus are also mentioning it. Okay. Such a powerful
5.18, Prabhuji. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah. So always I request the devotees try to remember the numbers as well as the shlokas also. It's very useful for you whenever you go and preach others. Okay. So coming back to the verse. So here Prabhupada explains he is unfit to be such a person according to this verse. So material existence is full of fear. That's what it says. Again, it's full of anxiety. But nowadays, people in general, what they think? I am wealthy, nobody can touch me, right? I am in a powerful position, nobody can touch me. But unfortunately, the nature of the material world is this. It is containing full of fearfulness and anxiety. So if you want to check anxiety, in one good example I can tell you, just go and stay in front of any of the metro station for a few minutes in the morning session. They all rush. They don't even come who is coming in front. They dash against and trying to catch the metro train. Such an anxiety people have nowadays. Okay, this way, Devahuti is very wise and she says, I don't want to get into this problem. So, please provide me the protection, because With your yogic powers, you have given me all material, but I am fed up with this. This should be the mood of all of us. When we get all this comfort, we should not get attached to that. It's a passing phase. We should think it, or we have to utilize it in the service of Krishna. Wise thing is utilize it in the service of Krishna. When you get more wealth, give it for the seva. When you get more comforts, accommodate more devotees for a big satsang, all these things. So you can explain, go on, so many things. So one should be wise enough to utilize it in the service of Krishna. So finally, she says, let me get out of this fearful condition. Okay. So abhayam, who can give abhayam? Because there are a number of shlokas in the Bhagavatam and Stutis, right? So everywhere they are telling there is only one who can give abhayam. Who is that shloka? Can anybody say? The daughter-in-law.
Uttaras.
Oh,
Uttara
wonderful, wonderful. What is the shloka?
I am not able to recollect.
Okay, okay. It is 1-7.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Pahi pahi mahayam deva deva
Very good,
jagatpate
very good.
surabhayam pashyatra mrityu paraspara.
Oh, fabulous. Wonderful, wonderful. Good. Any chance you can remember the numbers? It is 1-7.
Yes, Prabhuji. 1.8.7 Prabhuji. 1.8.
Ajay, it comes in the 8.
1.8.
Yeah, 8. Okay. 7th chapter is Arjuna's prayers, and 8th chapter beginning is Uttara prayers. Such a powerful shloka. Okay. So this is what we have to analyze. When we read the Bhagavatam, we should go on expanding it, expanding it. You will relish it like anything. See, I have given you one only. There are n number of shlokas for the abhayam. So now moving on to the next verse, because we are stuck in one shloka. It's such a beautiful shloka. Okay, moving on to shloka number. Anybody has got any questions? You can ask immediately so that we can move on to the next one. Or make a note of it at the end of the session also we can. Okay.
That's the shloka number, Prabhu.
Tell me.
What is the shloka number?
The one we are dealing today?
No, Prabhu. You just said now 1.7 or 8. We couldn't hear.
1.8.9. 1.8.9.
Thank you so much. Sorry.
It starts with Uttara Uvacha. Okay. I request all the devotees try to get into these prayers. Stutis are very powerful, because it gives us more of strength to progress in bhakti. Okay. Because as we do the prayers, we understand we are highly independent. Like that feeling is lost. Otherwise, what happens? We will feel always we are independent. Right? So the moment you keep on doing the stuti, then you will understand I am totally dependent on Krishna. In Hindi, we say that, no, Bhagavan ko upar nirbhar hai. That means you should be always dependent on Krishna. And that mood you will have it only when we read the stutis repeatedly on a daily basis. Okay. There is a book also exclusively on the stutis of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. So moving on to that. Sloka number 52 today. 3rd canto, 23rd chapter, verse number 52. Brahman duhitribhi dubhyam tubhyam vimrigyaha pataya samaha kaschit syanme vishokaya tvayi pravrajite vanam Brahman duhitribhi tubhyam vimrigaya Vimrigaya pataya samaha kaschit syanme vishokaya tvayi pravrajite vanam. One more time. Brahman duhi tribhi tubhyam vimrigaya pataya samaha kaschit syanme vishokaya tvayi pravrajite manam.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Meenakshi Mataji, you can read the synonyms. Prashanti Mataji, you can read the translation and purport. Shanti Mataji, you can read the purport, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, pranams. Brahman, my dear Brahmana, duhitribihi, by the daughters themselves, tubhyam for you, vimugraha, to be found out, patayaha, husbands, samaha, suitable, kaschit, someone, syat, there should be, me, my, vishokhaya, for solace, twayi, when you, Pravarjite departed Vanam to the forest. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams. Mataji, can you scroll? I can't see the translation.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Translation by Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Brahmana, as far as your daughters are concerned, they will find their own suitable husbands and go away to their respective homes. But who will give me solace after your departure as a sannyasi? Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Puppet by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It is said that the father himself becomes the son in another form. The father and son are therefore considered to be non-different. A widow who has her son is actually not a widow because she has the representative of her husband. Similarly, Devahuti is indirectly asking Kardama Muni to leave a representative so that in his absence she might be relieved of her anxieties by the suitable son. A householder is not expected to remain at home for all his days. After getting his sons and daughters married, a householder can retire from household life, leaving his wife in the charge of the grown-up sons. This is the social convention of the Vedic system. Devahuti is indirectly asking that in his absence from home, there be at least one male child to give her relief from her anxieties. This relief means spiritual instructions. Relief does not mean material comforts. Material comforts will end with the end of the body, but spiritual instructions will not end. It will go on with the spirit soul. Instruction in spiritual advancement is necessary, but without having a worthy son, how could Devahuti advance in spiritual knowledge? It is the duty of the husband to liquidate his debt to his wife. The wife gives her sincere service to the husband, and he becomes indebted to her because one cannot accept service from his subordinate without giving him something in exchange. The spiritual master cannot accept service from a disciple without awarding him spiritual instructions. That is the reciprocation of love and duty. Thus, Devahuti reminds her husband, Kardama Muni, that she has rendered him faithful service. Even considering the situation on the basis of the liquidating his debt toward his wife, he must give a male child before he leaves. Indirectly, Devahuti requests her husband to remain at home a few days more, or at least until a male child is born. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. See, I tell you, Bhagavatam, every shloka is important. But sometimes when we come to the 9th canto or somewhere where the family tree is coming, the entire dynasty trees are coming, we get bored of so many names and other things. But undoubtedly, all these names are so important because it is from the Bhagavatam. So every phrase in the Bhagavatam is so important, right? So it has got all the potency. That's why in the Bhagavad Mahatmya Shloka, there will be one shloka, many of you might have. Shlokardam Shlokapadam Va. Have you heard about this?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, this is another important shloka. It talks about it. Shlokardam Shlokapadam Va Nityam Bhagavatodbhavam Patayat Shunyadyasu Gosahasra Palam Labhet. If somebody is able to chant the full shloka, nothing like it. Oh, I am so lazy, I cannot do it. So make it 3/4 of the shloka if you can. Oh, I am much more lazier than that. Make half of the shloka. No, I am very, very lazy. I can't do anything. So make quarter of the shloka. Oh, I am the laziest of all. I can do only one word. Om Namo. That much only I can say. So like that, Bhagavatam explains even that utterance of one phrase. That's why it says shloka. Ardham means shloka padam va, that quarter. Nityam Bhagavata Udbhavam, on a daily, on a regular basis, continuously. That's very important. Nityam Slokardam Shlokapadam Va Nityam Bhagavata Udbhavam. Pate Shunyadyastu. Pate means one who reads. Shunyad, one who listens. Pate Shunyadyastu. Go Sahasra Phalam Labhe. What is that? Go Sahasra Phalam Labhe. So if somebody is giving in charity thousands of cows, what sort of a benefit is going to be getting it? That the person who does it also gets it. So the Bhagavatam is so auspicious, so always Mangalam, 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 right? Highly auspicious. So coming back to this verse, this is another amazing story. Now we can understand the mood of Devahuti and how nicely she puts it. She talks about all the Shastric references to here. What does she say? The children, the daughters, the 9 daughters will get married, right? Once they get the suitable husband, that's also word is utilized here. Huh? Nowadays, it's a big task. Getting a suitable boy or a girl is becoming a very, very big task. Okay. So moving on to that, is suitable husband and go away with their respective home. So beautiful, right? So that means the responsibilities of the girls are to go to the husband's house and serve the parents there. But who will give me solace after your departure as a sannyasi? Because he has fulfilled all her desires and he has completed all his promises, and it's time for him to move away. See, this is what called vanaprastha. But here he is going one step further to the sannyasa because he is leaving his wife also behind. See, imagine he is a perfect devotee and a rishi and whatnot. He is also a prajapati. But imagine he gets into the grahastha asrama. From a single person becomes 2, and he becomes a big grahastha with 9 daughters. And so easily he quits all the children and quits wife also going back to sannyas. So this is what she is narrating in this verse. So after you go as sannyasi, who will give you protection? Such a wonderful, very meaningful, right? And the purport is also so amazing. One should understand the position of a father and the position of a son. Putra, right? You know that, right? So one who delivers from this condition, a son, is called putra. That's why sons are more important for delivering parents. Situation is different in certain houses. That's a different story. Coming to this one, so here Devahuti is very wise. She understood since husband has to go back on his own to further progress in his spiritual order, she understood I have to get someone to help me out, to support me. So Prabhupada says, father begets a son, and the son becomes another form of father. So that's why our Shastras very clearly says, when the girl is born, she is protected by father. When she gets married, protected by her husband. And when husband is passed away, and the son has to take care. So at all stages, she is protected by the male member. But nowadays, girls or women folk, they are telling we want full freedom. We want to be independent. We don't want to depend. All these things have gone into the girls nowadays, especially that mind. So when they get a job, they think all this. I am fully independent. I want to stand on my own legs. So all these things are really creating a havoc and chaotic condition in the society. And people are suffering to a greatest extent. We cannot say describe it more than that. Okay. So coming to that, here, even when the husband goes as a sannyasi, the wife can depend on son, because son is the next one who has to take care of mother. So that means the woman need not be called as a widow. The reason is the son is there to protect, because she has the representative of her husband. See, these things are referred in the Bhagavatam so many places, right? In one occasion, especially when Ashwatthama was tied up and brought like a, I cannot explain that in the word. It's very tough. He was dragged by Arjuna before Draupadi, right? And everybody says, let us finish him, let us finish him. Bhima is taking his club and Arjuna is taking his bow and arrow. Each and everyone is doing something. And Krishna very nicely very wisely. He is asking, you are all talking so many things. I don't believe that. You are not talking neutrally. Let me ask the person who affected by this killing of 5 sons by this so-called Brahmana. At that time, when Draupadi was asked, Draupadi gives n number of references of the Shastras. And she talks so wisely. Huh? Anybody remembers what she talks about in this situation? Only one thing which is connected to.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. You want me to try? Radhika here.
Who is speaking? I am unable to.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. So there are
Mata.
there are few things which she said, Draupadi. I think.
But it's relevant to this point now.
That Brahmana, right? So he should not.
Yeah. But the context is here. The same context you have to apply. Widow. That word.
That's what I'm mentioning that only, Prabhu. A son continue. A lady is not a widow as long as she has a son. By killing Ashwatthama, the mother of Ashwatthama, that is wife of Dronacharya, will actually become a widow only after we kill Ashwatthama. Otherwise, so that is what she mentions there as one of the points for not killing Ashwatthama.
Okay, there's one more point she adds further into that. Can you say that? What is that?
I know many points, Prabhu. If you give me a clue.
No, in this connection, there is one more addition statement she gives.
Like spiritual master should not be killed or Brahmana should not be
killed.
No.
In this relation, there is one more point she makes out. This is also important.
Give me one clue.
Yeah. Wait, I'll tell you. See,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, may I, Prabhuji?
Sorry?
May I try, Prabhuji?
Yeah, tell me.
Yes, Prabhuji, just by killing the son, what the mother goes through the pain. So she says that, Prabhuji.
Okay. So this is not the one. I'll tell you that. See how it is. See, the point what that Mataji, Radhika Mataji said is perfectly correct. What she says, imagine if you kill this Ashwatthama, mother Kripi, what is her name? Kripi. So she will be left alone. She will become widow. Otherwise, you can call it as left alone because there is no one to protect because Drona is already killed and we are not supposed to kill Ashwatthama also because the mother Kripi will be in deep trouble, left alone. This point she says, and to establish it, she says further this also, if you remember it, she says, for me, I have lost 5 sons, no problem. Reason is, I have got 5 husbands to protect me. But let this poor Brahmana not being killed is ideal if you leave him alone, because the mother will not be suffering. Because I am not suffering, though I have lost my 5 sons, because I have got 5 husbands. But if you kill the only son of Kripi, and Kripi will be left alone because her husband is also not. Correct? Hare Krishna, are you able to remember?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. And she'll be forced to take Sati also. So that as well.
No, that will not happen because I'll tell you. The Sati takes place only when the husband passes, not the son. Huh?
Oh, okay.
Okay. So that's why how intelligent Draupadi is. This is what we have to understand. See, sometimes we say women are less intelligent according to this book. What is that Bhagavad Gita? Anybody remembers? It's going to come in the next verse. So please accept what is explained. So anybody remembers this book? Less intelligent woman. Quick, 9th chapter Bhagavad Gita. Nobody remembers. Okay. Mamhi partha vipashrutya.
Bhakti yogena sevane.
No, ma.
Okay.
Mamhi partha vipashrutya yepisyuhu papayonayaha shriyo vaishyastha. Yepi anti parangati. So that it is said, right? But can you believe it? Draupadi is so intelligent, so intelligent. Unbelievably, Krishna is smiling at her. Huh? And all the Pandavas are looking, the eyes wide open. They could not understand. Oh, she has got such a wonderful. Imagine that after losing 5 children, how composed she is. This is another valuable thing because she is a perfect devotee. She was never crying for that, right? This is the greatness. I tell you, similarly, Mahabharata also, the 5th Veda, we call it as, it has got so much of message. Okay. So, 1 minute. Hare Krishna, can you call it back? I am in the class. I'll call it in the class. So, such a wonderful thing. Okay, coming back to this verse now. Okay. Sorry, I am going to delay it. I think so. The verses are so wonderful. I want to explain so many things. Okay. So coming back to this here, household life, leaving wife in charge of the grown-ups children. See, nowadays, taking up the third level of ashrama is very difficult for many of them, especially materialistic people. I tell you, those who are coming closer to the age of retirement, they feel very odd. And they are blinking, they are puzzled. After retirement, what I will do sitting at home, right? They don't know. They have to completely smash the sofas and benches, sitting, and watching all the TV serials. This is the materialistic way of life. They are afraid. But for a devotee, they are eagerly waiting for a retirement. Why? Because they can speak about Krishna 24/7. All the time talking about Krishna, and always remain in association with devotees. So this way, the wonderful third phase of life can be utilized. Okay. So coming back to this, so Devahati is asking, I am not concerned about this comforts. This will end up one day or other, because I tell you, though we think, oh, I am in the AC, I am this comfort, that comfort, all these comforts are meant for body, not for the soul. The soul requires one special comfort. What is that? Especially the spiritual knowledge and worshipping Guru and Krishna. That is the ultimate. So this is what is explained here. So Devahuti is so brilliantly wise. And what does she say now? Without a worthy son, it is difficult for her to live and to live in fearlessness and to advance in spiritual advancement. So here it is explained very clearly, the son has got all the duty to protect his mother, especially in the absence of father, and give her fearlessness as well as spiritual knowledge. This is very important. So the duty of the husband can be liquidated very simply, but he has some leftover services which has to be handed over to his son. This is an important aspect of it. So the seniors cannot accept the services from the juniors or subordinates. And as we are seeing in the last verse also, it is the duty of the senior to give the knowledge and give them the support to the subordinates. So this way, he has to award the spiritual instructions to the next generation. This is the right reciprocal of love and duty. So generally, in the material world, people understand wife and husband means love and affection, exchange of all comforts, all these things, and fighting this and that. But nobody understands the responsibility of husband to give spiritual knowledge to wife. In turn, the wife has to cooperate in all the spiritual discussions and the spiritual activity carried out by husband. So this is missing in the material world. But fortunately, by the mercy of Prabhupada, we are able to do to some extent or a greater extent. So thank to Srila Prabhupada for this wonderful knowledge distributed by him. Okay, so moving on to that, finally, on the basis of liquidating his debt towards his wife, he must give a male child. What is that? He has to give a male child before he leaves. Indirectly, Devahuti requests her husband to remain at home for a few more days to beget a baby boy. Right? Okay. So moving on to that, next sloka, I want to go further because we have to cover two more slokas. There are so many expansions in that. Let us reduce it. Okay. Etavatalam kalena pratikra tena me prabho indriyartha prasangena परित्यक्त परा मनः एतावतालं कालेन व्यतिक्रान्तेन मे प्रभो इन्द्रियार्थ प्रसंगेन परित्यक्तेन Paratmanaha. Okay. So can somebody
Hare
go through this?
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji. Divya Gopu Mataji, you can read the synonyms, and Divya Desai Mataji, you can read the translation, and Anusuya Mataji, you can read the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna.
Synonyms by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Etavata, so much. Alam, for nothing. Kalena, time. Vyatikrantena, passed by. Me, my. Prabho, oh my God, oh my Lord. Indriya Artha, sense gratification. Prasangena, in the matter of indulging. Parityakta, disregarding. Para Atmanaha, knowledge of the Supreme Lord.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Sorry, Mataji.
Until now, we have simply wasted so much of our time in sense gratification, neglecting to cultivate knowledge of the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna.
Super. Purport.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji pranams. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Human life is not meant to be wasted like that of the animals in sense gratificatory activities. Animals always engage in sense gratification, eating, sleeping, fearing, and waiting. But that is not the engagement of the human being. Although because of the material body, there is need of sense gratification according to a regulative principle. So, in this effect, Devahuti said to her husband, "So far we have these daughters, and we have enjoyed material life in the aerial mansion, traveling all over the universe. These boons have come by your grace, but they have all been for sense gratification. Now there must be something for my spiritual advancement." Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Imagine how Devahuti is very intelligent, right? See, he asked for boons and he fulfilled her. And he gave promises and he also did. The reason is she served him very piously and very wonderfully. And Kardama was extremely pleased, and all these things developed later because she got a palatial bungalow and she has got a palatial plane, everything, right? So many girl daughters, everything, right? But what she missed out is asking for some spiritual things. So at last, she understood what is the essence of life. So when we look at this word, human life is not meant to be wasted. Okay. So there are many shlokas in the Bhagavatam. So many shlokas repeatedly says the importance of the human life. Especially very often we quote from the Prahlad Charitra, Prahlad instruction. Anybody can say that? Quick. No, not that one. Not that one. Good. Who said that loudly? Sunita Mataji. Yeah.
Yes,
say the shloka in full.
Not full, Prabhuji. Kaumare Acharit Pragno, Manusha Janma Durlabam, Manusha Janma.
Okay, I will say that. Okay, no problem. Kaumara Acharit Pragno, Dharman Bhagavatani, Durlabam Manusham Janma, Tatapi Adruvam Arthadam. This is 763 or 2. I don't remember. Somebody can quickly refer that.
1, Prabhuji. 1.
Sorry, 1 very first.
7.6.1.
Okay, good. So again, Prabhupada always quote that. Prabhupada also quotes this often, very often. See, many of you might have this book called Selected Verses of Srila Prabhupada in the Bhagavatam, 108 verses. It is a very important book. Okay, so coming back to that, here one should not waste it. Durlabam manusham janma tadabi adruvam arthadam. The purpose of human life is for, what is that? Quickly, next verse. Okay. Bhagavad Pranita. Okay, that's also wonderful verse. Very nice. Very nice. Full shloka again. I want full shloka. Who can chant this? Ayurharati Vaipumsam Udyanastam Chayanasau Tasyarte Kshanonita Uttama Shloka Vartaya. This is coming in the second canto, first chapter, shloka number 3, I think so. So this is Sukadeva Goswami narrating to Parikshit Maharaj. Such an amazing shloka. I tell you, this is all something very, very vast and ocean. We have to completely dive, swim. We should never come out of it. I remember one thing. In my childhood days, since I was living in the banks of river Kaveri, Bakonam. So childhood days, we were just very close to the river Kaveri. Every day we go and dive into the river Kaveri, and we are in the water for almost 2-3 hours. My father used to say, "You are like buffalo inside the water," like that. So here, what we have to do is dive into the nectarian ocean of Srimad Bhagavatam. Keep on searching for pearls and navaratnas. Such a wonderful Bhagavatam. Okay, so coming back to this, it is not meant for wasting our life. So again, I have given you one shloka. There are a number of shlokas for this very first word. Human life is not meant for wasting. Okay, like animals, the sense gratification activities. So actually, that also an important shloka. Ayurharati Vapsumsam is also. What do they say? Udyan hastam chayana. So tasyarte yaksanonita. Because daytime they are running around to make money. Nighttime they are looking for sense gratification. And every day the calendar takes away their life one day for those who have not recited the Uttama Shloka. Who is that Uttama Shloka? The Supreme Lord Krishna. Okay. So moving on to that, animals always engage in sense gratification, eating, mating, sleeping, okay, so on, so. So those things are also, you know that, right? The 4 common between the man and the animal. But that is not the engagement of human being. Although, because of the material body, there is need for sense gratification according to the regulative principles. Again, it is allowed, but based on a regulative principle. And the Shastra allows also those who want to enter into the Grihasasrama, but there are also restrictions on that. Based on that, one can get into that. So here also, Devahuti is speaking so wisely. I need a son so that I can progress in my next phase of my spiritual order. So that means if a son is there, he will be able to give me fearlessness and he will be able to guide me on the spiritual side. So the responsibility of the son, when he has a mother to give her, and the responsibility when he becomes a husband, he has to pass on this to wife and children. So now we understand the position of a male person, such a responsibility he possesses. So this way, what she says now, I am always fed up with this. Now I am fed up with this aerial match, traveling and all these things, right? And imagine that Prabhupada traveled for what purpose? He traveled the entire globe 12 times for preaching purpose, not for anything else, right? But nowadays, so many businesses are traveling. Businessmen are traveling for making money, unfortunately. Okay, these boons have come by your grace, but these are all for sense gratification. Now there must be something for spiritual advancement. So wonderful. Okay, so moving on to the next verse. Hare Krishna. Sorry, I am really rushing up because it requires so much of explanation. Still, I am curtailing it. Okay, this is another very important verse. Do not forget it. The very first line itself talks about it. Okay, Indriyarteshu sajjantya, Indriyarteshu sajjantya, prasangastvayi me kritaha, ajanantya param bhavam, tata yas babhayaya me. Okay, once again. Indriyarteshu sajjantya, prasangastvayi me kritaha, ajanantya param bhavam, tatapyas babhayaya me. Okay, somebody can synonyms.
Sharmila Mataji, since those who have not read the shlokas, I am giving the chance, Mataji's. Apologies. Sharmila Mataji, you can read the synonyms, and Vrishabhanu Kanya Mataji, you can read the translation, and Sindhu Mataji and other Mataji.
More hands are there. Less number of shlokas.
Hare Krishna.
Sindhu Mataji and Padma Mataji can read, share the purport and read. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, because the purport is a little longer. 2-3 devotees can share.
Hare Krishna. Synonyms: Indriyarteshu, to sense gratification; Sajjantya, being attached; Prasanga, affinity; Tvai, for you; Me, by me; Krita, was done; Ajanantya, not knowing; Param Bhavam, your transcendent situation; Tata api, nonetheless; Astu, let it be; Abhayaya, for fearlessness; Me, my. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Not knowing your transcendental situation, I have loved you while remaining attached to the objects of the senses. Nonetheless, let the affinity I have developed for you rid me of all fear. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranams. Shall I read purport?
Yeah, read a few lines, give others also a chance so that everybody will get it.
I'll stop Mataji in between, then Padma Mataji
Sure,
can.
Mataji.
Thank you.
Mataji. One paragraph I'll read, right?
There is only one paragraph, Mataji.
Okay. Okay, Hari. Purport was Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Devahuti is lamenting her position. As a woman, she had to love someone. Somehow or the other, she came to love Kardama Muni, but without knowing of his spiritual advancement, Kardama Muni could understand Devahuti's heart. Generally, all women desire material enjoyment. They are called less intelligent because they are mostly prone to material enjoyment.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji. Padma Mataji, you can read Mataji from here. Hare Krishna. Sorry, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Devahuti laments because her husband had given her the best kind of material enjoyment, but she did not know that he was so advanced in spiritual realization. Her plea was that even though she did not know the glories of a great husband, because she had taken shelter of him, she must be delivered from material entanglement. Association with a great personality is most important. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Chaitanya says that Sadhu Sangha, the association of a great saintly person, is very important, because even if one is not advanced in knowledge, simply by association with a great saintly person, one can immediately make considerable advancement in spiritual life. As a woman, as an ordinary wife, Devahuti became attached to Kardama Muni in order to satisfy her sense enjoyment and other material necessities, but actually she was associated with a great personality. Now she understood this, and she wanted to utilize the advantage of the association of a great husband. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Done?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So getting into this verse now, it's a very serious and rather sensitive verse. So please bear with me. As Prabhupada says in the purport, I am trying to explain, okay? Not knowing your transcendental situation, I have loved you while remaining attached to the objects of senses. Nonetheless, let the affinity I have developed for you rid me of all fear. This is another amazing thing. The first portion, she accepts and admits the truth. She never hides it. She speaks very clear. That's why if you look at it, there is a word in English which is called as gullible. How many of you heard about the word gullible? Gullible means they believe straight away. They accept statements as it is. So here also, Devahuti is very frank and admitting things openly. But there should be some boldness enough to do this also. And now what she says, nonetheless, that affinity be rid of, so that I'll be out of fear. Because I'll tell you, generally, when we have love, affection, affinity, all these things, the fear comes. One good example. See, with the children, we give them, feed them, bring them up like anything. When they grow, when they are going out late, coming late, we are all afraid. Am I right or not? Why? Because the affinity, because of the attachment, right? Generally, this is more with the women folk, not with the men folk. Generally, it is less. Because women are prone to that. That's why the further purport also, Prabhupada talks about the lamentation part of it, and he says, they are generally prone to material enjoyment. Okay, so this way, and Prabhupada also explains, as told in the Shastras, called less intelligent. But one thing we have to understand, no doubt they are very intelligent. As I told you, an example of Draupadi. So here, she laments for the situation because she was after sense gratification. Without knowing the capability of her great husband, who is the Kardama Muni, full of all knowledge, everything, whatnot. She could have asked for the fearlessness at the beginning. But one should understand the purpose of Kardama Muni is he's a Prajapati. He is here to create progeny. And after doing that, he has to quit. That's why if you look at the social order and the life also, Brahmacharya, Grahasasrama, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. This is defined for men folk. You have to understand that. So generally, this is an important aspect here which is explained. So women are caught in this situation. The material enjoyment always attracts them more, and they are always prone to the sense enjoyment. So that's why it is explained here. She is caught in between that, and she forgot what is necessary for her life in the beginning. But at least by the mercy of God, she got that. And she is very wise enough to grab the right opportunity without losing that. Imagine if she had not asked for it, what will be her situation? Pathetic. But she is wise. Who is she? Nonetheless, she is the daughter of the great Swayambhu Manu and Sutapa. So she immediately asked Kardama Muni, give me the fearlessness by giving a son who can definitely guide me in the spiritual realization and the progress also. So, knowing the glories of her husband, she immediately asked for it. But unfortunately, nowadays, these values are missing in the current grahasasmas, especially in the youth and others. They do not understand each other's capability and values. If they know that, then they will appreciate and they will gel very well in life. But unfortunately, they are not able to appreciate or they do not know the value of it. And what happens? There are so many different and difficult situations which we come across in newspaper and other things. It's a very sorry state of affairs, right? So very unfortunate, these are the situations what we are hearing about. So here, Prabhupada is giving a wonderful example of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Lord Chaitanya says, Sadhu Sangha. Anybody can say that? Sadhu Sangha, Sarva?
Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kaya,
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So many wonderful devotees' voices. Very nice. So that is the importance of the Sadhu Sangha. And what she wants to do, she wants to grab that opportunity. Right? He is a great sadhu. Who is that? Kardama Muni. And wisely she asked for it. As a woman, as an ordinary wife, Devahuti became attached to Kardama Muni in order to satisfy her senses in that. Superb, superb. And other materials and necessities. But actually, she associated with the great personality. Again, we can say that this sort of a wiseness or the quick presence of mind came to her because she was associated and she was serving the great Kardama Muni. So she got that knowledge at the right time. Though she was initially grabbed by sense gratification, she broke the shackles and got into the spiritual knowledge. That is the greatness of the Kardama Muni's association. Now she has understood this. She wanted to utilize the advantage of the spiritual. Superb, superb. So what we are supposed to do in our Grahasasrama, we should always look for these things. Work together and progress in Krishna. Hare Krishna. To summarize it, in the first shloka, she talks about the different type of responsibilities of a father, mother, son, daughter, spiritual master, so on. It is explained. And in the next verse, she talks about the responsibility of getting into the spiritual advancement by having a son, so that as the husband goes away, he'll be able to get fearlessness and the spiritual knowledge too. The next verse, she talks about, let me not more involve into the sense enjoyment, let me get out of it. In the fourth verse, she talks about, let my attachment or affinity towards you be rid of it, so that I will be fearless. Hare Krishna. Any questions, any doubts, any comments? Most welcome. Let me try to answer your questions.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Just a comment, just to understand, Prabhuji. You said that nowadays, the women want to become so independent, and then they want to be on their own. Actually, the fact is, this is Kali Yuga, Prabhuji, because there are so many divorces. The men also leave the women and go. Sometimes they don't have children, they don't have sons. Sometimes the sons also get married and leave the parents and go. So that's a very bad state. Then in that case, the woman also has to prepare to, to look after herself in time of, during such a bad situation. So times also different, Prabhuji?
Yeah, okay. I'll tell you one thing, Mataji. The situation what you are narrating is the present condition. As I told you earlier, Kali Yuga has got full of anomalies, right?
Yes.
Whatever
Prabhuji.
you said is all against Shastras. First of all, the separation is not at all permitted in the Shastra, nowhere it is written. Because everywhere it says the bandham, the sambandhyam continues, it says, it never breaks. Though the court and letters on newspapers are writing it, but the real spiritual explanation says there is no such separation. Okay, one point thing. Second thing is, nowadays, begetting children, many, that's also a very pathetic condition. I don't want to discuss more on that. Coming back to that, when we have children, that's another awkward situation also. The children are not taking care of the parents. They have to go to the old age home and all these things. That's also a very, very pitiable condition. See, when you say all these things, your question may be applicable and we have to depend on. But one thing they have to understand, we all depend on Krishna. Is it true or not?
Yes,
whether it's a male or a female.
Yes.
So that independence feeling, we have to avoid it, and we have to have a feeling dependent on Krishna. Is it correct?
Yes, you're true. Yes, what you say is true, Prabhuji. I agree.
Yeah, the particular woman should take up spiritual topics, should take association and make her life strong enough without any fearless.
But I've seen many families, Prabhuji.
I agree with you, Mataji. I have also come across so many things. For your information, Mataji and others, devotees, every Thursday we are going to a old age home in Chennai, Andhra Mahila Sabha.
Okay.
And when we see those men folk and women folk, we feel very, 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 I don't know what to say more than that. Their condition is very pathetic, very pathetic. I don't know how to express it. In fact, I had a desire when I was working to start off a old age home. But later on, I thought again, I will be tied up with that. I will not be able to travel and preach more. I will be restricting. That's the reason I requested my guru and the Shiksha gurus. So I took up this traveling and preaching as my primary seva in this retired life. But as you said, when we go across these things, no, similarly, when we go to the orphanage and all, we feel crying. We feel crying. Now, the Kali is taking a big toll on the human society because human society is not God conscious. That is a primary problem. Any break in marriage, vivaha, is due to only no faith in God. Any children not taking care of parents, again, no faith in God. These are the reasons for it. Hare Krishna. Any other comments, any other questions, any other doubts, please? Most welcome.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Ma, so much. Your statement is true. We come across and we feel very bad about it. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Sunita Arvind Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam. Prabhuji, in that shloka, Guru na sasyat, Janani na sasyat, in that shloka, why demigods is mentioned, Prabhuji?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Very great question. I tell you, they are all one. They are all servants of the Supreme Lord, right? In Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna says, the human being, they will do all activities, And whatever they reap, they will offer to whom? The devatas, right? Because they gave rain, everything, right? So through Krishna. So in turn, what they are supposed to do? They are supposed to give the human beings all the wealth by rain and so on, right? So this way, while doing so, the human being go and approach them, right? When they worship or when they do honoring, what the human being supposed to do, they are supposed to understand the Supreme Lord is the worshipable one. And the devatas are there to guide us. And if they don't do that, they are also at fault.
But Prabhuji, father or mother can speak to us and they communicate with us, so they can guide us. But how we can get that guidance from demigods, Prabhuji?
Wonderful, very wonderful question, right? See, the devatas, they have the responsibility of guiding the human society. I'll give you a good example in the Bhagavatam itself, right? Let us take the case of Hiranyakashipu and Brahma, right? What happened?
Hiranyakashipu asked for boons, Prabhuji.
Then what did Brahma say?
Brahma gave.
He gave, right? The guidance was not given. Okay. Then another good example, right? I'll tell you. Lord Shiva, Bhasmasura, right? He did tapasya and he asked for some boon. What happened?
He also gave, Prabhuji.
Yeah, what happened?
And finally, he had to run away from.
He tried
Shiva had to run.
only that boon.
So it is the responsibility of devatas to always, that's what it says. They are in a senior position, the human being in a lesser position, subordinates. So they are supposed to guide. That's why it is mentioned here. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hare
I
Krishna.
appreciate all of you. We have got so much of knowledge and you are able to quote so many shlokas. When question is asked, we are very pleased and we always want to associate and read the Bhagavatam together and relish the nectarian Prabhupada purports. Hare Krishna. Any other
Hare
questions,
Krishna, Prabhuji.
comments?
I had a doubt. I had a question, Prabhuji, but there is no time, Prabhuji.
No problem,
So
no problem. If you can ask it. If it's short,
Hare
I can
Krishna.
answer.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, like Krishna is nothing but Dharma is nothing but the Krishna only. Like this is what they say, no. Like if you follow Dharma, the Lord is no. You will get the Lord. So like that they say. In the previous 2 chapters also, it was a learning for us that we have to be the servants of the, I mean, husband or anybody. We have to serve him unconditionally, like whether it is in Krishna consciousness or not. However. So what if he's not in Krishna consciousness? So he will be doing all the things which are against the Dharma. So how can a wife achieve the
I'll tell you
perfection,
one thing.
Prabhuji?
Mataji, here the point is slightly different. I tell you. See, the very first point, as I told you, wife, husband, right? Generally, if you look at it, Prabhupada also comments in many places. When he starts a program, he is able to see more number of Matajis and less number of Prabhus. He says that in one of his lectures. So in any satsang, the women folk is more and the men folk is less. For many reasons, I do not know how to say that. Men folk are not focused, right? They don't have much strong faith like women folk, right? But interestingly, at a home, when wife is so serious in Krishna consciousness and the husband is not, naturally, there is a conflict comes. But one should understand, if the husband is able to at least be favorable to Krishna consciousness or at least support, these 2 words you have to remember, favorable and support. If he is able to give that, then the wife can serve him undoubtedly. I can give you so many examples. I don't want to mention the names. In many satsangs, wherever we go, right, the wife is always depending on her husband as a sarathi. And the husband makes it perfect as a sarathi. He never misses in picking her, dropping her, such a wonderful one. Similarly, the same wife, she before leaves for the satsang, she cooks, packs everything for her husband to go to office, everything. Mataji, is it clear?
Yes, Prabhuji. But by doing that, that wife only gets the good position only, no, Prabhuji, like to the higher planets or something like that. Only by performing bhakti yoga only they'll get, no?
No, see, I'll tell you. See, as a Shastra explains, wife has to serve the husband, right? But at the same time, she knows ultimately Krishna, right? She goes to satsang, she does so many sevas, right? So that will take care of her, nothing to worry about. Correct or not?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
Because she is not attached to that. Oh, I served my husband, he is not taking care of me. That's not the case.
Yes.
But here, in case of Devavati, she served her husband so well, and the husband also reciprocated, but she understood that is only a sense gratification. There is something much more valuable with him that she has to grab it.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. It was wonderful.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you once again. We have come across so many families in Dubai and Chennai and many places. Many places, the husband is very favorable. In many places, the husband is so supportive, and the woman is able to progress. Not only the woman, and the children are also helped to progress. So the husband is undoubtedly a devotee because he is serving the devotees, right?
Correct.
That's the way we have to accept it. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Appreciation is important. Everywhere when you appreciate, naturally the qualities, good qualities come. Correct or not?
True, Prabhuji. Very true, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We all thank you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class, giving so much of explanation and guidance. Hare Krishna. Yes,
Divya Gop Mataji has a question.
Prabhu, can I ask a question, or is it late, Prabhu?
Mataji, I have no problems, but check
Mataji,
with
be
them.
quick, Mataji, because at
Okay.
11 the next section starts, Mataji.
Yeah, it's a short question and it is not related to this. Sorry, Prabhu. Only thing is, Prabhu, when we are slightly developing our faith towards Krishna, now they say with respect to this Tayattu and all, right, Prabhu, you wear this, this is going to get you good fortune, especially Narsimha Tayattu and others.
Kavacham. Kavacham.
Yes, Kavacham. So is that, is that our belief is what will make that powerful, or is it powerful and we have to blindly believe it and put it?
No. A few things we have to remember. See, I'll tell you. What is Kavacha? Narayana Kavacha, Narsimha Kavacha, all these Kavachas over what? Kavacha
Negative energies, I think.
No. It's giving you fearlessness, right? How you get the fearlessness? By chanting the names.
Right.
So by chanting the names, as I told you, the holy name, the Harinam itself gives you fearlessness. But Bhagavatam gives you additional ones. What is that? Narayana Kavacham, Narsimha Kavacham, or so on. Right? Because the Narsimha Kavacha we get it from the Brahmanda Purana, right? So similarly, the Kavacham what we are wearing, right? It is offered to the Lord and we are wearing it. It's not merely wearing, we are supposed to what to do? Recite the prayers. Clear, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, just merely wearing and believing is not correct. One has to take extra efforts. How? By glorifying the Lord by so many chanting of prayers. Clear?
Okay.
So it will give you both the faith as well as the fearlessness.
Okay.
So please do that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Suma Mataji, in case anybody has got questions, please collect it and pass it on to me. Huh?
Sure, Prabhuji.
You have my number, right?
No, Prabhuji, I'll take it from Narayani Mataji.
Yeah. So tell her also, anybody has got any questions, they can.
No, what they can do, Prabhuji, what they can do is they can put it in the group and you can reply them. Pranam.
Hare Krishna, where are you?
I am here.
This is another great devotee from Dubai.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare
From all of us, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We shall end the session with the prayer, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Wonderful class. Thank you. Shall I end the session, Prabhuji, with your permission?
Okay.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Matajis and Prabhujis. Hare Krishna.
Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Srila